Nightmare 365 pod.
Podcast.
I guess somebody already had Nightmare 365.
Who the is that? Get the out of here.
It was like a dummy account. There was nothing there. You know? Always takes a...
Stay spooky. Welcome to the Nightmare 365 podcast. Episode 35. The Bermuda Triangle. Triangle.
I don't know why it always does this. Well, it takes forever to just load it up.
Load it up. The Bermuda Triangle.
All right, ready?
I am.
Are you good to go?
I'm good.
Bermuda Triangle. All right. Keep a little silence so we know when to clip it. What's going on, everybody? Matt and Greg here. Now, what if I told you, all right?
Yeah.
This is just a scenario. If I said that about 500 square miles, 500,000 square miles, right? 300 and something ships, 75 aircrafts, and about 1,000 victims.
Were they all? I mean, that's a lot. But, no, that's a lot. But if you think about like the
Let's
vast,
do it again. Let's do it again.
Why?
I don't know if that was a good opening.
I thought there was another part you were gonna say.
There's a long pause. You love pausing.
I know, but I gotta think about that.
Yo, somebody's watching. People are watching this. All right, ready?
Yep.
I gotta clip this.
Clap it.
All right, here's a scenario.
Okay.
All right, we already went over this, but there's a scenario. There's about 500,000 square miles. Some people say it's a little smaller. Some people say it's even bigger than this. And about 300 ships, 75 aircrafts, and over 1,000 victims in this Bermuda Triangle that it's known. What would you say? Is it real? Is it fake?
I wouldn't say that it's real. I mean, obviously it's real that everyone's, the ships and the planes and everybody, but is there something mysterious or spooky? I guess we'll get into that on the episode.
I'm Matt, and this is Greg. And this is the Nightmare 365 podcast.
Case file 35.
Case file 35 for sure. We're up to 35, man. Almost up to 50.
That's a lot, man.
It is. It's a lot of case files to talk about. There's a lot of weirdness out there.
Yeah, and you can find it all on our YouTube channel.
That's right.
Nightmare 365.
And just go to our website. All our website has our contact information, all that good stuff. If you want to get in contact with us, send us some fan mail or just keep up with the Weekday Weirds. Oh, yeah, I have a good clip.
Let's hear it.
You'll love this. This is for Greg for the Weekday Weird.
Welcome back to Weekday Weird on this episode.
We have a good one coming out this Wednesday for the Weekday Weird. It's about aliens.
We do.
Are aliens us? Find out on this day's Weekday Weird Wednesday.
That could have been a whole show.
It could have been. That was a pretty good discussion. Maybe we'll have to revisit that in a longer podcast.
It really makes you think. I really like that one.
I like the ones that make you think too. And I wanted to say too. You know how I go on like these binge watches.
Yes.
I've been watching Unsolved Mysteries again.
Oh boy, he's in the dark place.
Well, I started watching more Unsolved Mysteries, and then I took a break, and then I was like, you know what, I got to get back into it, because we do a lot of research for these case files.
Sure.
But then I was like, you know what, I'm missing like that. I don't know. I remember it as a kid. I don't know if you remember this as a kid, just watching Unsolved Mysteries.
Was that the one where the ambulance was like parked in the woods, like in like the intro or the outro? Like it would show up.
Maybe that was Rescue 911.
Yeah, I'm thinking Rescue 911.
I just remember in the summertime watching Unsolved Mysteries. But you know what really pissed me off? Because I'm on season 8 now.
Oh boy.
They changed the intro.
To what?
Like they changed the music.
We changed our intro.
A little bit, but the music's the same, And I think we ramped it, like this is going to be our intro going forward. But, it was so spooky from season 1 to season 7 or whatever they're on.
And you
or
didn't,
an 8.
You didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that shit. I don't know, whatever. But here's our intro.
Stay spooky.
Welcome to Nightmare 365.
This is the center of weirdness for the entire planet.
There's tons of unsolved mysteries out there. Witches still exist.
What about monsters?
Do you believe in ghosts?
Bigfoot is not out there.
Bigfoot is definitely out there. UFOs are real.
UFOs might be real.
Do you believe in conspiracies?
I consider myself a conspiracy theorist.
I want to believe in all these case files.
Trust no one. The government lies to you.
We're just two brothers exploring the unexplained, mysterious, and spookiness that lives among us. This is the center of weirdness for the entire planet, G.
Do you think this is a conspiracy theory, this topic, or do you think it's an actual, like...
I think it's a mystery. I think it's more, it would classify, if we were doing our classifications for each case file,
Yeah.
this would be more of a mystery for sure than, I guess, a conspiracy. Because I feel like there has to be more people
In on it?
Well, yeah, conspiracy is somebody, you know, like me and you conspire to kill somebody, right? Well, how does like the Bermuda Triangle?
It's killing a lot of ships, a lot of planes, a lot of
Yeah,
people.
like the government can't control this, you know?
Well,
You know, this nefarious groups out there can't control this.
I'm sure you get some whack job saying that they do.
Oh, yeah, there's so many different theories which we're gonna, you know, tap
Oh, you
into
love
this.
the theories on this one, huh?
Oh, well, let's just jump right into it.
Let's just jump into the theories.
No, but for this one was, I don't know, this one doesn't as intrigue me as much as some of the other case files.
Why is that?
I just feel like there's so much in the ocean that we don't know.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
And there's new species like we talk about all the time, right? We talk about like aliens and how it's possible that there's tons of aliens on our planet because
there is a new show on Sci-Fi. Do you watch Sci-Fi at all?
no.
Okay. It's like Mysteries of the Deep, I think, or mystery, whatever it is called. I'm not really sure. Or Strange Things. It shows like in one of the monsters or whatever it is. It shows like deep in the ocean. It almost looks like the Independence Day alien.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up while we're going over this topic. But
Yeah. Look it up.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is my thing. Like the ocean is so vast.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much that's untapped. And even like last week's case file, you know, the Malaysian Air Flight 370, you know, the ocean is so huge.
There was actually a thing about that on the Nat Geo this week or something like that.
Well, yeah, the government actually came out and said, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Good luck.
Almost what our theory was for the show.
Yeah.
That basically saying that the pilot or somebody, you know,
took control and then
took control of the plane.
Yeah, it was saying they also 7 hours after what we said that the plane ran out of fuel, and I think it was Boeing did a scenario of where it could crash.
Yeah.
Out of like the 29 or run throughs that they did, they have like a square mile or they narrowed it down to a certain number of square miles that now they're looking in.
Interesting.
So,
Maybe they'll find something.
I hope they do.
That'd
I
be
would
cool.
love to hear like what happened.
So because that one I think is more of a mystery conspiracy kind of thing than this one.
Well, yeah, because you don't know what actually really happened.
True, which makes it crazy. But the Bermuda Triangle, there is a lot that we do know, right? This is an area in the, I guess you would say, the North Atlantic.
I don't know.
It's in the North Atlantic.
It goes from Bermuda to Puerto Rico to Florida.
Yeah.
So it's that triangle. That's why they call it the Bermuda Triangle, because Bermuda,
Well, majority of it is above the equator, so that's why I'm just saying like it's Northern Atlantic region.
Sure.
It's also known as the Devil's Triangle.
Yeah,
And
you don't really hear about that a lot.
What's kind of cool, because you were saying this before we even started the show, that I guess you were saying like Alaska has its own
Yeah, Alaska has its own
triangle. And so does other places around the world.
Yeah, there's strange things usually happen.
And to just start this off too, there's a lot of places around the world that I guess you could say when experts talk about the Bermuda Triangle and say it's just bogus.
Yeah.
There's other oceans, like that are much more dangerous than the Bermuda Triangle area.
Well, yeah, if you're just talking about like oceans and currents and stuff like that, at the tip of South America, right? Is it South America or yeah, I think it's South America. It's one of the most dangerous stretches of water just because of the way the currents are and the way like the oceans meet, from Atlantic and Pacific, that they create swells and everything like that.
I could imagine. And that's one of the things too. Like, this is such a vast area in the Atlantic Ocean, right?
Yeah, most people don't realize how big the planet or the oceans actually are.
Yeah, and when I was reading reports, it's everywhere from like 250 to like 500,000 square miles.
Correct.
So you could just imagine that. Just look for a plane in that area. How can you really do a search when they can't even find it? What was it, like a 23 miles? I don't know how much square footage that really is, but they couldn't even find the Malaysian air flight. So it's interesting, this topic for sure, because it wasn't until, what was it, the 1940s,
Yeah,
when it became known as the
I thought it was
Bermuda
the 50s,
Triangle.
1950.
Let me see what I have in my notes.
Yeah, I thought it was 1950, and then there was like an article published where it really got publicized in 1964.
Yeah, all right. So it was in 1964.
Yeah.
Vincent Gaddis, and he published this thing in Time magazine about the Bermuda Triangle, and that's where like the term came from. So for some reason I had 46 in my head.
Yeah, 64.
64, that's
got
where
that
like
backwards.
the term. So imagine from 64 till now, and you have over 1,000 victims.
Yeah, no, but like there was a lot more stuff that happened prior to that. I think that just when it got popularized.
Here's a cool thing to start it off with, and this is where a lot of things, when they were talking about history of the Bermuda Triangle and when it was coined the Bermuda Triangle, the Devil's Triangle, there's written account from Christopher Columbus when he sailed into the New World in 1942, or
He sailed to India.
1492. What did I say, 1942?
1994.
94 it happened. I don't know. Fool me once.
Can't get fooled again.
Can't get fooled again, man. No, but in his diary, when he was trekking across the Atlantic, he claimed that there were like the compass malfunctions.
Yeah.
There were strange lights over the waters at night, and there was rougher seas in this one area. There was fireballs in the sky. They had all these different things, and everybody's like, "Ooh, it happened in the Bermuda Triangle." But what's interesting about this count, and if you watch a lot of the YouTube videos, like they all say like he was writing about the Bermuda Triangle, but most of his accounts were well outside the Bermuda Triangle area. There was only one account that really, I guess you could say, pinpoints him in the triangle itself.
Yeah.
And that was when he saw the strange lights or the fireballs or something overhead. So I mean, it dates back to 1492.
Correct.
Some of the, I guess you would say, first sightings or written accounts on this area.
Yeah, and one of the most popular or well-known accounts of the Bermuda Triangle is the Flight 19, which we talked about before the podcast.
You like this one?
I think it has some like validity to it, or it adds some mystery to the Bermuda Triangle, just because of the fact that they were trained military pilots and they were from Florida, so they should have known like where they were, what was going on. A little backstory about that is Flight 19 was a squadron, like a torpedo bomber squadron of airplanes in 1945. So just think about like World War II is going on. They were from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And they were flying a training mission, right?
Yeah, they were.
A training mission off the coast of Florida. There's a lot of theories on like what actually happened. They think, some of the planes might got struck by lightning because there was a bad storm, but like their instruments didn't work. They didn't know where they were heading or what they were actually following. So people think they just like flew around in circles, not really knowing, and like ditched in the ocean. They actually found some of the planes. I think they found like 2 of the planes or 3 of the planes grouped together, and then a couple miles north there was some more planes.
Yeah, I heard different accounts too. Like it depends on what you watch, and I know you recommend the History Channel did a piece on this, the documentary.
Yep.
And we'll link it in the show notes. So that's the one thing that I guess out of all this we would recommend checking out. I mean, there's tons of stuff that you could really watch, and another issue, it's just trying to sift through, I guess, like the bullshit. Because people just like us, we could put out a podcast. Who the hell knows if we're, telling the truth or not?
Correct.
And we're just reading information, but you try to like piece together the facts. And I heard stuff like, aliens got them.
I heard that too.
Just like they really, really fucked up. Like, I guess one of the one of the officers or whoever was like in charge of like this group of class of this people, this training mission, like let the one guy go and really steer, the group together.
Yep.
But he thought he was west of Florida when they were actually east. But I don't know. Like some of the stuff didn't make sense to me. Like if
I didn't like. I don't know. I never heard that thought they were west of Florida. I thought that they were trailing the coast, which they thought they were east of Florida, but they were off like some other island. Like it was kind of weird.
Yeah, they were supposed to head to like pretty much one of the training exercises, closer to, I guess you could say, Puerto Rico, like halfway between there and the U.S.
Yeah, it was like 150 miles off the coast.
Yeah, and then they were
of
supposed
Florida.
to head north.
Yep.
And then kind of turn back. But from what I heard too, it really depends, because we don't know, right?
Yeah.
In the end, we don't really know what happened to this Flight 19.
Yeah, I mean, they found the planes, but like obviously there's no black boxes or anything like that, no communications with the radio tower. They just knew that they were missing because when they were supposed to return to base, they never did.
Yeah, and you could hear there's actually audio of this,
Yeah, there is.
And
that would be kind of a cool clip to put in the show notes.
I was trying to find some good ones, even just to play on the show, but I couldn't find anything, man. It was tough. It was
on that
through other
History Channel documentary, they have like some parts of it.
Yeah, it's tough to like clip, certain, the show goes on, and I don't want to like steal anybody else's stuff. That's why I was just trying to find that clip. But yeah, this one is like a big thing that keeps coming up. But there's so many other ones too. Like another one that always gets a lot of play is the USS Cyclops. Yeah, that was just a Navy in the early 1900s, 1918.
Yeah, it was the largest non-combat loss of life.
Yeah,
in naval history, which is kind of crazy.
And they don't really they never found it, and all these things. When they were doing the searches, they never, most of it didn't come up right away, and there's still a lot that they haven't found.
Well, what I thought was interesting when I read up about that one is they do have a theory, a couple different theories of like why they say it sank.
Yeah.
One of the theories was they actually did it, I think on Mythbusters or something like that.
Yeah.
Where they took like gas pockets, because there's a lot of gas pockets in this area, I guess. I don't know why. Maybe because of the.
Well, they say that like the methane gas.
Yeah, the methane gas.
If there could be like cracks in the ocean floor or something like that.
So what they say is the air bubbles come up underneath the ship if you're right underneath it, right?
Yeah.
And it basically almost like kind of sucks the ship down. Did you read up on that?
Yeah,
like,
and I also watched some physicists talk about this too, and they were saying like ships are designed so if this happens they don't sink.
Yeah, but like I mean back then.
I don't know.
Maybe
this was just. They were carrying just like cargo, and it happened. It's possible, right?
And then also like rogue waves is another big theory on the Bermuda Triangle, just because of the fact that I guess the area is prone to rogue waves.
Well, yeah, when you brought that up about like a couple days ago, so it spans in like the last week, there was, Fox News put it out, Live Science, the Sun Sentinel. There's a bunch of different, news stories that came out on this where the British, I guess, scientists talked about waves being the reason, they were saying like scientists solved the Bermuda Triangle, saying it's waves.
Yeah, rogue waves.
That, took all these ships, took all these planes. It's crazy to me to think.
Well,
like
not the planes. How
that's what they said in the thing, like
how fucking big are these waves?
That's what I was saying. I don't know how, like,
and then how come they don't hit any of the coast of...
Well, here's the thing. Like, you would know better than I do. How many flights do go in this area?
A lot. I've flown over that place like a lot of times. And it's funny, like, the pilots always come out, now we're in the Bermuda Triangle.
Do you get freaked out?
No, I don't give a shit.
Really?
Yeah, what the hell do I care? We go down, we go down.
You saw a big wave, then you'd be like, this motherfucker, it's the waves.
I mean, if I saw a wave like at 30,000 feet, we got a real problem.
See, that's what I don't... Well, with the training mission... I don't know how high they actually were.
They can always pull up, though.
That's why, like, it makes a lot of sense for 300
boats.
ships.
Yeah.
But for the aircrafts that went missing, like the 75 aircrafts that, went missing and not found.
Yeah, I don't buy it for the aircrafts.
Yeah, it's just it's another
Like
I guess piece to the puzzle.
You know, I love Josh Gates and like Destination Truth and
Please tell me they did a
Bermuda Triangle one. Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Did he go there?
Yeah, he went to. He flew over like.
Maybe I should get that for Christmas for you.
What?
The Josh Gates.
What
is it called?
Well, he has 2 different shows.
Destination Unknown.
No, Destination Truth.
Destination Truth
was the one he went to the Bermuda Triangle. So they flew over it. And
do they still re-air those?
Yeah, they do.
I'm gonna have to. I always say I'm gonna look them up, but I never do, and then I go home and watch Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, you can't be doing that shit.
I gotta look up.
I mean, he did a lot of them on Bigfoot, all over everywhere.
Can you find them on like Netflix or Amazon or anything like that?
Maybe.
Or they're just rerun on TV? Because
I don't know. Maybe
I'll look into it.
But yeah, so he did one. He flew over the Bermuda Triangle in a plane.
Yeah.
And a couple of the areas, the instruments started going like haywire in the plane. Like they didn't know where they were. They didn't know like the instruments all shut down.
And you believe him?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Like when I watch TV shows, you know, they always cut, and then when you come back from a commercial, it's like the 3-second, 5-second replay. I don't know.
No, like it was good.
Yeah.
They landed, like finally, and then they investigated like an island.
Okay.
In the Bermuda Triangle, where people say like this one section of the island is not necessarily haunted, but like no one goes there because strange shit happens.
I really have to invest in this show. Yeah.
And so they're investigating, right?
Yeah.
And this one guy, I don't know, I guess saw something and
freaked out.
No, like he started walking in a different direction, got turned around. He didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
And he lost the group and was like freaking out. And like he has a camera on, like, you know, one of those helmet cams like on him. He's freaking out. The radio doesn't work. He's like yelling and like everyone's back at base camp and he's nowhere to be found.
Well, do you think it's almost like a sense of like we already know going in, like, you know, your instruments start fucking up, you know, this stuff, you know, like it's almost like you're scaring yourself, right? When you
it's like a predetermined outcome, like because if stuff starts going wrong, yeah, I get that, but to have this many planes and this many ships that go down in this area, like complaining of the same stuff, like not even like if you just type in Bermuda Triangle, you get like a lot of interviews. I don't know how many people are being truthful or not. But they say, like, if they fly over, their instruments go haywire.
Yeah,
you know, all that kind of stuff. You just
type in the Bermuda Triangle on Google, you get over 7 million hits.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's all real, but you never know.
It's true, and this is a big area, you know, and the Devil's Triangle. I mean,
plus they say, like, I was reading, I don't know if you read this as well, is in certain aspects or areas of the earth that there's a different, not a magnetic pole, but like a different energy source or whatever. I
did see that.
Whatever you would call it. And this is one of those areas.
Maybe it was on Josh Gates' thing. But I do remember watching some like documentary where they show you, you know, go on this side and then like something happened to like the compass and then you go on this side and it's fine.
Yeah, that was a Josh Gates thing, yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't know. I can't explain it. And I guess because I never been.
Sure.
You know, I'm trying to remember when we flew to Mexico. Like we probably had to go past the triangle. And I just never even thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've flown from Bermuda to Florida.
So you had to be on like the edge.
Yeah, I'm sure I was in
and
it.
Everything like that.
You know, I've flown to Aruba. I went right over the triangle.
Yeah, it's, so I don't know, like, because if you look at the percentages, right?
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's a lot. You know, when 300 plus ships, 75 aircrafts, there's something to it, right?
There has to be.
But if you look at it and just say, all right, look at it from the time aircrafts came out and how long were we actually traveling and going back and forth on ships there. So you say like 1 million times. Say if there's like 1 million times in a year, and then we, you know, like divide just on a rough, you know, estimate, say 400. You know, with the missing ships, aircrafts, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the percentages. That's a very low percentage, you know, to
compare
it
definitely is.
So, I don't know. Like, that's why, like, it didn't really intrigue me, I guess, that much compared to some of the other ones like a Bigfoot or aliens. I mean...
I think this is definitely more real than Bigfoot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We have video evidence of fucking Bigfoot. There's nobody taping over the Bermuda Triangle.
Josh Gates.
I guess so. But how come, more people that don't fly over the Bermuda Triangle whip out their cell phones and say, look at, we're over the Bermuda Triangle. Look at that wave, or look at this gas pocket.
I always get freaked out though, like if a rogue wave hit. Like I watch Deadliest Catch sometimes. You ever watch that?
No.
And like they're just going along, and then a rogue wave comes.
Yeah, but where would you go that a rogue wave would really hit?
I'm just saying.
Like, we live pretty close to the water.
Well, hey man.
So it
What
could
if you're on the
happen there.
beach and the water just starts receding real quick?
I would know to get the hell out of there.
No way you'll make it to high
I don't
ground.
care. I would still run my ass off.
Let's say you're at the hook.
I'm getting to the twin lights.
That thing's gone.
No, it's not.
That thing's gone.
It's the highest elevation on the eastern seaboard. So
No. You're on Sandy Hook.
yeah,
No. There's no way you're making.
going.
What are you swimming across the river?
I'm going as fast wherever I can get. I'm going.
Rogue wave comes.
I'll try to do my best.
I'll start swimming out.
I don't.
Ride that thing in, boogie board it in, and steal a kid's boogie board.
I would try to find some like bunker, because there's old bunkers on there, and just hold on to something.
Hold on.
And hopefully, like, everything that hits goes like hitting the bunker and doesn't hit me.
That's a bad day right there.
Yeah, trust me, it is scary. And when you look into some of the cool theories that I think that are, attributed to the Bermuda Triangle,
UFOs.
I do like that aspect, of course. But
What if there was something, like hypothetically, let's say.
Atlantis.
That's kind of funny. But
Why is that funny?
I don't know. That's kind of funny. But like, let's say there is like a UFO
Okay. It's a UFO base.
underneath the water
Yeah.
in the ocean. I thought about this.
I did
Like,
too.
no one would know.
No.
And they just come out and they just, oh, this looks good. Boop, got him.
Yeah, if you want to go down like the theories and the explanations of what the hell people think they are, because there has been theories where they even said like Flight 19. I even heard on some of the documentaries and videos I watched with Flight 19 where they said they did see like some type of aircraft.
Well, yeah, people. I don't know if it was on land or in the water, like on a boat. They saw like almost like fireballs in the sky.
What Christopher Columbus
Yeah,
reported.
so maybe that was, a UFO shooting down one of the planes, or the planes getting blown up. I don't know.
Because I did think about this too, because there is a lot of stories where UFOs come out of water. So
There is, yeah.
there could be something to it. What was the idea also was used in the what's his name?
Close Encounters of the Third Time.
Yeah, where it comes out of the water, right? Or where he got the whole Flight 19 and the alien abductions kind of thing.
And some
from
people
there.
think it's a wormhole.
That is a huge possibility, right?
Do you remember I don't know if it was a movie or like a mini TV series of the Stephen King? They were on the plane where the people that were only sleeping survived. You remember that?
No.
That-
I'm trying to remember, but I don't.
That kind of reminds me of like flying over the Bermuda Triangle.
It could
like
be,
the
right?
people woke up, and I don't remember for how many of there were. They were the only ones alive on like the planet because they went through this wormhole, and they had to figure out like where to fly the plane back to, fall asleep so they would get back to like the reality.
And this is like a show?
I think it was a movie. Let me look that up real quick.
I mean, some of that is possible, right? So like aliens, I mean, I think it's a great story. I love aliens. I think it's a cool concept, and that's why one of the reasons I'm into Halloween and all this crazy stuff is because of the stories. But also, I think the wormhole, or the black hole, whatever you want to really call it.
The Langoliers.
Oh, that it was just a show.
Yeah, it was a movie. Yeah,
Oh, a movie.
180 minutes.
I'll have to look that. I'm gonna have to watch that now. Where can people find that movie? Does it say?
No.
It should say. Where does it say? Oh,
But yeah,
I'll look it up.
The idea or the theory of a wormhole kind of interests me. What freaks me out is the black holes.
I think it's possible. I mean, because there's so much scientifically that we don't know about this, right? Scientists know that these things exist, but they can't really like prove or disprove or how they work.
Correct.
So maybe with all these flights, right? We were talking about with the percentages. Maybe certain times, like everything's aligned, right? With like planets or anything like that, and something does open up, and like you happen to be there, and you get sucked up.
That sucks.
Imagine that. But imagine you're in like another dimension though.
But see, that's like that would just. I don't know.
What?
That's a totally separate topic. But I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you believe when it's your time, it's your time? Like you see a lot of videos and a lot of stories like online where like a car comes and goes out of control and just misses somebody.
Oh, they had a thing on Unsolved Mysteries.
Okay.
I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Where a guy had a dream, right?
Okay. Was this the car that he was going and the truck?
Yeah.
You told this one.
Yeah,
before.
there's been tons of stories like that on Unsolved Mysteries. That's
So,
why I
but-
love
so,
that shit.
So do you believe like when it's your time, or do you believe in fate? Do you believe in all that kind of stuff?
Like destiny, fate,
Yeah.
like you were already, it's already predetermined.
Yeah,
things
no
like
matter
that.
what you do.
I don't know. I mean, there's sometimes when you're like drawn to it, or maybe that's what we talked about, like deja vu, right? Where
Yeah.
you have deja vu. Maybe that's really it. Maybe like there was some time or some decision that you made that might have messed it up, and then all of a sudden you have deja vu, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then it kind of steers you in that direction.
Could
so
be.
maybe, I don't know, because I have thought about this on many occasions, and it gets a little trippy.
It does, man.
So I don't.
Like, does that get into like this wormhole theory or another dimension?
I mean, who knows where these things go, right? Or you just get sucked up and that's it, or
Well,
you go
like,
somewhere else.
Here's my question. Okay, this kind of freaks me out. This is totally separate though. Black holes.
Okay,
Let's say you get sucked into a black hole.
right.
Where do you go?
Who knows?
Where do you go?
Maybe it's another planet. Maybe that's how. Let's talk about aliens again.
We got sucked in, or they got here.
Maybe they know how to open and close them, right? So maybe like when people say they saw aliens, I don't know. I'm just throwing out a theory here, but maybe that's why people see aliens or ships. They come through and they know how to like open it up. Because when we think about like technology, right, and trying to get to other planets, how long it takes to get there.
Sure.
Maybe they have this technology that
Almost
says,
like a Star Wars.
yeah, where
type
they
deal.
say like, oh, we could press a button or we know how to like manipulate nature that it opens up. And then it happens. Oops, you were in the wrong spot. This is a door. Your ship was in the wrong spot. We came out, now we're flying around. You got sucked in. Sorry, you're on our planet. It could be. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's an outlandish theory.
Sure.
But who knows? I mean, some of the other things too, they talk about the Gulf Stream.
Which is kind of stupid, I think.
Why?
I mean, yeah, it's a current, but that's all around the world that there's currents.
It could be stronger in this point.
Yeah, but their whole theory is, okay, if a plane or a boat is in that current and there's an object that's going to hit it, like, come on.
So that's one of the theories. Human error is a big one.
Yeah, I could see I would say probably more than half are human errors.
I think so. I think either people like mess up or things like that. And
Yeah.
one of the biggest cases I want to talk to, which we'll jump back after some of this stuff, but there was a case, almost you could say it was a human error, but then there was a big mystery about it.
Okay.
But there was also another theory is
Weather.
violent weather,
Yeah, which I kind of agree with.
right?
you
Perfect
know.
Storm. We all seen that movie.
But are they in the Bermuda? They weren't in the Bermuda Triangle.
I thought about it when we were doing the show, but no, they weren't. But
They were just stupid.
yeah.
They should have turned back.
But
I really thought in the movie they had that last wave. I really thought that. And then boom, you go back down.
Yeah, that sucks. And then the whole methane gas,
Which I kind of think is plausible for some ships.
it is.
So like if you combine like a bunch of those,
yeah,
but that still doesn't talk about like the amount of aircrafts that instruments go haywire.
true.
So that would get into your next case.
Yeah, well, this one is really weird. The Deering, it was a ship.
Carol A.
Yeah, in 1919, that was found. It was abandoned, and it was in North Carolina, and rumors stated that the victims were of piracy, but like everything was normal, right? Everything on the ship was normal. Everything, it was like half sail, and there was just no signs of anybody on the ship.
Yeah, the ship ran aground,
Yeah,
and they
And
found it.
and nobody was there.
Which okay, like, and see what I didn't like though is when you look this up, like what happened to the people?
Yeah.
Like, did they try to like get off and they drowned or what?
that's one of the mysteries. And here's the thing, like, was it human error? Did somebody just like snap on the boat and just kill everybody and threw everything overboard and then just said like, fuck it, I'm going to kill myself? Or, did pirates, come and take them off the ship?
Yeah.
But when you hear the story, this is what like makes it a real big mystery. Like nothing was taken, the boat was intact, and everything, like their cargo, all that other stuff. And there's other.
The only theory I can come up with for that one is they ran aground, they loaded like a lifeboat, tried to go to shore.
Lifeboat was missing, right?
Yeah.
In that report, yeah.
So they tried to go to shore and the lifeboat sank probably, and they all died. That's the only like plausible explanation that I could possibly.
But then, like
think
you
of.
said, right, things add up, right? More of these stories you keep hearing and hearing about, like, oh, it happened in the triangle.
Yeah.
It happened in the triangle. And then you start saying, like, all right, well, maybe there is something to this.
Sure.
So because you can go down the list. There's tons of them that it just, there's no explanation, right? Like we always talk about, there's explanations for certain things, and then certain other ones they have no explanation for.
Yeah, like the 1948 Douglas
Yeah.
DC-3
That's her name, bro.
was going from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Miami with 32 people on board, and no trace of it was ever found. So, like, what happens? Does it get struck by lightning and crashes? Like, what happens? Do their instruments stop working and they, turn back, like, because they think they're going forward? I don't know.
Yeah, is it another murder-suicide? Like, you could speculate all on these, right? And we can go down the list. There's tons, like we just said. But we don't know because nothing ever was found. Like, sometimes there's a life jacket that pops up, or there's a piece of the aircraft, just like with the MH370. But in the end, there's just no concrete evidence with some of these. And I think that's what makes it really mysterious. And I know you like the flight one.
This one
Which
was
one?
kind of, this last one,
Which one?
the KC-135,
Yeah.
where they two planes collided in the midair, was kind of weird to read up on.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Because, some say the crash was spread over 150 miles.
Okay.
And others say when they found the wreckage, like, it was intertwined, like, intertangled and stuff like that. So, like, they don't really know what happened.
Yeah, could that be something where, like, a UFO or some kind of door opened and then, boom, like one went through it and then came out on the other side? Because that always amazes me too. Even when you hear like close calls with aircrafts, like with all the communications, you would think like stuff like this couldn't happen.
Well, yeah, I mean
that happened in the '60s, what you were talking about.
Yeah,
but
yeah, there was two U.S. Air Force KC-135 aircraft collided.
Yeah, how's that happen? Like,
I don't
is
know,
that
with
human
radar.
error?
That's got to be like instrumentation problems, and
yeah, and that's the thing. Like you were saying, and I think this is the biggest thing. There's probably something there scientifically that we don't know, whether it is like a wormhole or something like that.
Yeah, something like I'm leaning more towards like something magnetic, something almost like a burst of whatever, solar rays or whatever you want to call
some
it.
type of energy that we don't know
Yeah,
about.
some type of energy that we don't know about that makes instruments, maybe on certain planes, maybe on like certain wiring systems. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because not every plane has it happen.
Right.
That their instruments go a little crazy or stop working or haywire, and then when the humans try to take over, they panic and they crash.
What about, there's a lot of talks too where they say Atlantis, and they had some type of technology, right? I don't know if there's like, that's a podcast you want to do.
Atlantis?
Or you're like that interested in,
I mean, I'm kind of interested in the theory of Atlantis, but no one really knows where it is. Like, most people theorize that it's in the Mediterranean.
Yeah, but then they also talked about what the Bimini Road was
Yes.
kind of found over here in this area. So they say almost maybe it had some type of technology that was so far advanced for their time and even for our time that maybe sometimes it clicks on.
Well, that's like, which I kind of find interesting, is the pyramids.
Yeah.
Like, they thought that was for...
That's cool. Yeah.
Excuse me. some type of technology, like almost like an antenna array, because they found some strange wiring inside.
Yeah, didn't they think it was like a nuclear plant, like kind of like what we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
today?
yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
And which most people think that the pyramid is 4 sides. It's not. If you look at it from above, it's actually 8-sided,
Yeah, I did see that.
which is kind of crazy. And you can only see that from the air. So how the hell would they know that? Like, there's a lot of things that interest me, like in history, like the Nazca lines, why they made that. You ever look into that?
Yeah.
You know, the theory about the pyramids, like certain types of things that can only be seen from the air, but those people didn't have the technology to get up that high back then. Like, what were they making it for?
That's the same thing. Like when you hear accounts of, dating back to 1492, where, they saw some of this stuff, compass malfunctions, where they said that then, and people are still experiencing it today.
Yeah.
But then there's millions of flights probably, from Puerto Rico to the United States and
Nothing
Bermuda,
happens.
and then like you don't hear reports daily like, all right, well maybe they know to like stay away from like
Certain areas?
yeah, like a square miles. All right, don't go here. We have to kind of go through it this way. It's almost like a little road that they have to follow. I don't. Yeah, this one, it's tricky.
It's kind of cool, just and mysterious, just because of the fact that there is so many aircrafts and planes and people that go missing and die here. But I think it's chalked up to some type of magnetic field that screws with instrumentation, some type of human error, and weather. Like, if you combine those 3 things,
Yeah, for sure. And I think so in the end too. As much as I love these stories because when you look into them, you kind of creep yourself out, right?
You kind of do, yeah.
When you look at the Douglas aircraft, the Flight 19, the Deering,
Cyclops,
all this stuff. Like you look into it and you kind of creep. And just watching YouTube videos on it, documentaries like the History Channel, all this other stuff, it does make
like you kind of want it to be true.
Of
and
course,
you want
man.
to believe in, like, I don't know, I guess we kind of want to believe in mysterious, spooky, paranormal, all that kind of stuff. But like at a certain point, you got to look at it logically.
Well, I think we try to do that, right? And I think most people do, where
Not all of them, but yeah.
Yeah, well, like look, for example, like I don't know if you feel the same way, but one of the reasons why I love Halloween because of the stories, right? Almost like listening to Washington Irving, Sleepy Hollow, or watching Halloween. They're really good stories. With these, they're very compelling stories, and they make you think. Like I love the good mystery, like
Yeah,
the
they make you think,
unsolved
yeah.
mystery, right?
Yep.
And where I kind of get into it and say like, all right,
So you love M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
I didn't mind that.
Okay.
It was a good twist. I like the signs. I think signs are one of my favorites.
Why? Why the signs?
Because I like aliens, man. Aliens or Bigfoot, stuff like that. Like, I mean, the village was cool because it started off like these monsters. You're like, all right, what are these monsters? And then
Yeah, it turned out to be.
No spoiler alerts here, but stuff like that. That's cool. Well, what about here? I'll play a clip before we go. You want me to play The Happening?
No,
you can
movie
listen to
sucked.
it. Here, listen to this one. This clip is it's from your favorite movie. You have to guess it though.
Thought the Bermuda Triangle could change a man so much. Used to toss and turn all night. We had to chain you to the bedpost.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
The Bermuda Triangle is a very strange and mysterious place. You'd be surprised at all the things you don't know.
She certainly.
We don't know about it.
The Addams Family.
Yeah, I should have played that in the beginning, but it kind of sums it up, right? Like, there's so many things that we don't know about this,
Well, not only this, but like the whole planet, I think.
and I think that's cool, right? Like the same thing that you were talking about pyramids. Like, when you think about that, you're like, all right, well, how the hell did they know this?
Yeah, and
You
how the
know,
hell they know to build it like that?
Yeah, was it an engineering feat? That they just said like, we know how to do this. We're gonna do it this way.
And there was also like the ancient aliens had a thing of, I forget where it was.
Maybe
But
we should talk more about this.
It was so precise, like the stones were so precisely cut.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, that they don't know how they even did it.
Yeah, even with modern tools, you'll always see imperfections. So.
Yeah, and they didn't have that.
Well, it's the same thing where I feel like the triangle. You can't rule aliens out.
No,
'cause
you
We don't
can't.
know if they exist or don't exist, and we don't know if they
I
have
would
underground.
love one day to wake up and put on the news and be like, the mothership's here.
There's a weekday weird. One of the weekday weirds I want to do because I saw it on Unsolved Mysteries.
Let's see
But
this one.
no, there was a case. There's actually a couple cases in the Hudson Valley in New York
Okay.
where people. It wasn't just one person. This stretched over. Like officers saw this. Like a bunch of people. Just like in a stretch of like a week or something where they saw this UFO. There's other ones where people got videotapes of. In I think it was Ohio. Somebody saw it.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of. See, I don't know. I don't know if it's just people like. Same thing with the Destination. What was it?
Destination Truth, yeah.
Yeah, where the guy all right, he knew this. Like everybody knows like aliens, right? So this guy knew going in, like if the compass starts fucking up, like freak out, in his head.
Maybe.
So I don't know. Do people do this more to themselves and freak us out because of these stories? Because we
Sometimes,
don't
yeah.
know.
Sometimes, yeah, I think.
So I don't know how much, more. I guess we should just wrap it up. in a sense.
Wrap this
So
itch up.
you think it's a combination?
I think it's a combination, yeah, like I said, of
I think
instruments
so,
going
too.
haywire because, magnetic or
I think
some
there's
other
something
type of
there.
energy, and then, human error and weather.
I think like that's the biggest thing, and I think I want to do more research on it just to see and
Let's
watch
get
that
in a
episode.
boat.
We should have Josh Gates on.
That would
What's
be
his name?
awesome.
You reach out to him.
I'll
Be
reach
like,
out to him.
Josh Gates, please come on the show
That'd be great.
and talk about the instrumentations going haywire. Yeah, I think the same thing. I think there's something there that we don't know scientifically yet, and it'll probably be proven, when we have that technology. But technology is there
Yeah.
that makes this, instrument compass go nuts, and we can't explain it. And then, like you said, I think it is a combination of bad weather, and also human error. Because people panic and they screw up.
Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda Triangle, man. And next week, are we gonna do a show next week? No, we'll probably do it
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now.
Yep.
So thanks for tuning in to the Nightmare 365 podcast. You can get all of our information on our website and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Help us out.
Yeah, help us out. We have all of our weekday weirds, which come out every Wednesday. This new one is all about aliens. And are aliens really us? And what else do we have coming up? Anything good? We have a couple good weekday weirds.
We do have a couple good weekday weirds.
We have this one. We have the Spy House.
Spy House, maybe shot on location.
You want to do that one? That would be a cool on-location Spy House thing.
Yeah.
I think we should do like a couple things there because
I wonder if we can
That
get
brings back
inside and like sit inside and do it.
I can try to get somebody to do that for us.
And just sit inside and we'll like Instagram or Facebook Live it or something like that, or stream it right to our YouTube page on.
Maybe we'll do an episode on it, like a weekday weird, like normal weekday weird regular ones, and then just actually have an episode where we just go and talk to somebody in there.
Boom.
And just about the history. Because that's another thing. If you have any stories or any mysterious places, like
From
the
your
Spy-
hometown or anywhere.
Like the Spy House is in our hometown and it's haunted, supposedly. So send us. All of our information is at nightmare365.com. And if you want to hit us up, hit us up. Anything else, dude?
No, thank you for tuning in.
Stay spooky.
spooky.